everybody, and welcome back to Coffee and Praise. I'm going to share a little bit more on our body clutter book in chapter 8 about the food. That It's just a longer chapter, so it may be this video and one more. I'll try to get it all into this one if I can. So in here she's talking about our metabolism, and a lot of times we get stuck, we plateau in our weight loss for various reasons. And this is something that she said that kind of struck me, because I always think, well, I'm stuck. I can't lose any more weight. Like I just did, I need to do a video on this actually, but it's a check-in, like weigh-in video. I took out my new scale and used that on the 1st, because I figured, I'm going to start this officially on the 1st with a new scale, because I had been using data really from like the doctor's offices, the old scale that my in-laws have, and the scale that's at my dad's house, which is like most of them are digital except the one here, and this one's off by a little bit all the time, so I wasn't sure exactly where I was at. And then over the last week, I've done exactly what some of this stuff that I'm not supposed to do, and eating things that aren't that great for me. So I know that's part of the reason why I'm where I'm at. So according to, from the scale inside to the new scale, I gained about 4-ish pounds or so. Whether that is an actual gain or if it's just because the scales are different, I don't know, but I'm going with it. Whatever it is, I'm trying to just let it be and just be, okay, well, let's just work on this month and go from there. So I will share more about that in a check-in and weigh-in video. But something that she said here was the idea that we're stuck and can't lose a body clutter is nonsense. I don't buy it, and you shouldn't either. The trick is just that, playing tricks on your body and showing it who's boss. So one thing that she shares, that at least for her, and I don't know, may not be true for everyone, I don't know if it'd be true for me, but it's something worth considering. One way that she learned to regulate her metabolism was eating several small meals a day instead of 3 big ones, or worse, skipping breakfast, grazing for lunch, and pinking down at dinner, which was her old standby habit. Now, that's a lot of what I tend to do. I skip breakfast for the most part. Now, granted, since I started using the Ladybird coffee bombs, I'm kind of getting some protein with and some good fats and things like that in those coffee bombs. But it's still not enough for what I should be having, because I notice that by the time the lunch comes around, I have a headache or something's going on, and then I don't feel like eating, or I'm busy, distracted, painting, journaling, whatever, and I don't go eat. So then, dinner comes around and you are hungry, so you eat more than you should, and then it's late and you don't move around as much, and it's a big vicious cycle and I think that's something I've been doing for a long time. Excuse me, I need some coffee. So now what she does is she does 5 small meals a day, which keeps her blood sugar levels from wildly fluctuating, and also keeps her from like bottoming out where you have sugar crashes. And for me, that happens because I have type 2 diabetes, so I do have to watch my sugars, and I have got out of the habit again. So it went really, really well, keeping all of my numbers for, in the morning I take it before I eat anything, and then I take it again at night. And I know that when I did get my blood work done, I was down from a 9.2 to a 6, but I would like to get under a 6, and I know that's going to require some more diet modification, and then just with everything going on. I know there's a lot of stuff I have to learn, and I know that when I was doing the plant-based whole food diet, I did eat more often. Now, granted, it was a lot more salad. I did like oatmeal with nuts and fruit and just basically stuff like that. I'd have like toast. Oh, I really didn't do much of. I didn't do a lot of toast then. I did it afterwards because I wasn't eating bread for the most part. I did, if I ate bread, it was the Ezekiel 4-9 bread, and if I did have toast, it was usually avocado toast. So I need to get back into that, whether I do it with toast or not, because I know with Hashimoto's, that's the gluten thing, and I haven't found gluten-free bread that I like. So if you have any recommendations for gluten-free bread, please leave them in the comments below. Excuse me. So no, when she's talking about eating small meals, it's not about eating a huge meal in those 5 times. So it's more of like something small, but just to sustain you. So one thing that she does talk about is having a very small bowl of brown cereal in the morning. And what she's talking about is on the back of a lot of pretty much everything that we buy in food, it tells you what the serving size is. So a serving size of brown cereal is 2/3 of a cup. So that's it, 2/3 of the cup. And so that gives her 1/3 of the fiber that she needs for the day. So this is kind of where I think counting, I don't know if I do the whole counting calories thing. I've been trying that through the tracking method, but it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. But if doing the serving sizes, just, that starting to learn to use those as we portion out our food, that I think would help us in a lot of ways to kind of have that calorie deficit and be able to lose the weight and also not get hungry so fast or not wait all day and eat a huge dinner. Now, she gives some examples here, and I'll read these out. For breakfast, a couple of eggs with whole grain toast and a teeny bit of butter on the toast. She uses whip so that it spreads easier, so you use less. Or, like she said before, she would eat the 2/3 cup of cereal. And then her mid-morning snack would be low-fat yogurt mixed with low-fat cottage cheese so that there's extra protein. So a lot of this stuff I cannot have. So, I have to think, well, what can I have? And if you can't have yogurt, can you have something different? Probably for a mid-morning snack, I would do avocado and maybe just make it into like a guacamole type of thing. So like add in veggies, some chili, and just have it, instead of having it on toast, I can do it with carrots or celery or something like that, or even use crackers instead of the bread. So that's, use a couple crackers, keep the, portion size, something like that. Now for lunch, she talks about eating canned tuna, a big green salad with olive oil and rice vinegar, baby carrots, and an apple. Afternoon snack, protein bar or a bar that has high protein, low carb. Dinner, a portion of protein cooked in low fat manner, so broiled, grilled, or poached, etc. Baked squash or some other yellow or orange veggie, steamed broccoli, and brown rice, if at all. There are already plenty of carbs in the squash. So, these are just some ideas that she has. Oh, an evening snack, low-fat yogurt. Now, the one thing that she says here that I think we all need to keep in mind, I know I need to keep this in mind, and this also goes for our dinner, I believe, because a lot of times if we eat dinner late, especially now in the summer, or not summer yet, but now that we have longer time with the sun out in the evening, we tend to eat later. And I'm trying to get myself to get to bed earlier because I noticed that I do much better in the morning energy wise and be able to do the things like, doing the videos or doing whatever that I do. And so she says to make sure you eat this snack 3 hours before you go to bed. So that means that okay, if I'm going to do this idea of like, say, 5 meals or even have a snack after dinner, I need to eat my dinner by 4 o'clock, be done. And if I want a snack, this is the thing. When do you get a snack? An hour after dinner, 2 hours? So let's say 7 o'clock, 8, 9, 10. I usually would go to bed by 9:30, like 9 o'clock, sometimes even 8:30. And because it seemed like I wake up a lot at night, so going to bed earlier kind of helps me to get more sleep. And I'm usually awake by 5:30 in the morning. I haven't been getting up that early because I've been going to bed later, and I've been going to bed by 11, and I can feel the difference. Because I still wake up at 5, I just don't get up till about 6:30, and then it's still, because of the time that I wake up at night, it's hard. But so it's kind of just making sure, if you are going to have a snack, are you going to, is it going to be early enough? Are you going to have dinner early enough to be able to have that snack, portion that, make it small, make it something that isn't going to, bother your stomach at night or keep you up and all that kind of thing. Now, she does say that and this is probably just her own research also, and it's working for her body, is eating many little meals is an effective way to stoke the fire of your metabolism, which is a big key for many people trying to lose their body clutter. But we have to eat the good stuff. Not just let me have candy here or there, or eat things that they will give you a burst of energy, but your crash is going to be harder and it's not good for you, and you're not going to lose body clutter that way. Eating mini meals more often during the day is a great baby step because it's not hard to accomplish. And so it all depends. I don't know if it would work for me as far as even eating those kind of meals. Maybe if I had something easy and simple to have, because there's a lot of times I'm just not going to get out of the cabin. I'm going to be in here, so I don't have a refrigerator in here or a way to cook necessarily. Like, I do have a 2-burner electric top, but I mean, I'd have to have something to cook in here, and I just don't always have that. But it is an option. But if I have healthy snacks, and that's where the thing comes in. So for me, snacks are always, I'll buy chips. I would buy some granola bars, not always the best ones. And I'm looking at doing, better with that. I'd buy granola. I did find a pretty decent one at Sam's Club. I don't know if I've shared that one or not in any of the food hauls. I don't think so, but I will share that next time I get some of that. And it's a cereal, but since I don't have milk, excuse me, since I can't have milk, I just eat it like, a handful or whatever. I did buy nuts a lot, and I'm not sure. The thing is that we would go for the goodies, right? So you'd get oatmeal cookies or donut sticks or whatever, and I would buy the minimum of that, just buy one box or whatever and try to keep that for the month. But, when you have that and you want a snack and that's the only snack you have, you tend to eat the stuff that is bad for you. And a lot of times those things, it seems like once you have one, that's what you want. So, I've been trying to be a little more health conscious when I buy snacks. And so I've been looking for healthier beef or turkey or chicken like sticks. I don't eat pork, so I don't just buy like pepperoni and sausage sticks and stuff like that. So I have found some that I like. One thing I do want to start doing, which I think would be a great snack, something that we can all have, is beef jerky, like the actual I don't know if you want to call it real beef jerky, but like the stuff that they sell in the stores, a lot of times, if you notice, they will they're a little thicker and they have a lot more preservatives and they have all this stuff in it. And I'm talking about like the beef jerky that is homemade. You can find it in stores, and you can make it yourself if you have a dehydrator. Or I know a lot of people will just they get, I guess usually a deer. They do have beef. If you get that and you cut it, slice it real thin, and you can just hang it up on a string in a porch area or whatever, and let it dry out. I know a lot of people who do that, and my sister, as a matter of fact, just tried dill pickle flavored beef jerky that she got at the farmer's market in Albuquerque. And so that is on my list to try. So I'm hoping, and they even have a hot pickle flavored. So definitely going to try those. So I think that's one snack I want to incorporate a little bit more. We do have a few guys that come every once in a while that park up at this area that before you get onto the interstate, and they sell beef jerky, and it's really good and have some amazing flavors. My favorite is the New Mexican style, which is just basically green and red chili on it. They have a garlic one that is really good. I pretty much like all the flavors. The habanero one that my dad got is pretty hot. It's good, but it's a lot hotter than I would like my beef jerky to be. To actually have I can have a little piece of that, and it's good. The only one I do not like is the natural flavored one. I need some salt or pepper on that. That taste of the meat, just like without any spices or whatever, it's just a little too much. But so those are things that I'm gonna add in, and like I have shared a little before, these baby food packets. These I can carry with me. I can have here, and for the most part, they're pretty low in calorie. They have fiber in them. They're not extremely high in carbs. And so, and most of the ones that I've been buying now, I've tried to pick up the organic kind. And so I have a few of these, and so that kind of helps. And we do have the tuna and chicken in cans with the crackers. So, there's options. And in one of the videos, when I go through some of our tubs of like stored food that we have to kind of like just prepping in a way, I will share some of that because I have a lot of dried fruit in there and different things that I've gotten, because I've got to go through those and kind of get new stuff and start bringing those ones out, because I've been doing that every so often. So I've got to get that done. Now, this is something that we all have to understand. No matter what works for our body, no matter what we're going to try, whether it's going to be the 5 small meals, it's going to be 3 regular meals, it's going to be intermittent fasting, whatever it is that you try, whatever works for your body, you have to understand that it's going to take time. And that is something that I struggle with. I struggle with waiting. I struggle with, I want this done fast. I want to lose weight fast. And when I see the fluctuation and, oh, well, I lost this and like I gained 2 pounds. And then a lot of it has to do with the medication that I take. It has to do with the different medical issues that I have that cause weight gain, and they also make it hard to lose it. But I've been losing for the most part. I haven't gained much, and if I do, it's like a couple of pounds and I go right back down. So that's good, and I've kept it below the highest I've ever been, and then that next step I've kept it below that next one, and now I'm doing it again where I'm below that one threshold that I thought I'm going to be stuck at. So I'm getting there, and it's taking time, and every once in a while I lose patience with myself and I want to go faster, but I know that if I jump in and I try to go too fast, it's not going to be effective for me, and it's going to either I'm going to lose too fast and then I'm going to gain it all back, because I'm not going to learn that taking the time, learning the habits, making it a lifestyle change is how we need to do it. So this is something that she says that, kind of goes in line with that. You didn't suddenly sprout those thighs overnight. You've been growing them for years. To ungrow them, it's going to take a focused effort, just like getting your house in order. So we've got to look at this as when you clean your house, like the deep cleaning, right? So it takes time to go through each section, and you want everything to be done just right. You want to declutter this whole entire thing, but it takes time because we didn't bring all that stuff into our house in one day. And this stuff in our bodies, we didn't put it all in one day either. It took a while, so it's going to take a while to declutter. So one thing that she says is no diet is really going to work. Maybe it will for a while, but at some point you'll go back to eating the normal way. And all that extreme effort and deprivation will have added up to big zero. There is no magic pill, no new magic diet, or movie star exercise video that will suddenly bless you with the body you want with no work. It's not going to happen. And that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff, weight loss things that you can take, and it makes you lose the weight fast. And that is true. I mean, I'm on Mounjaro for my diabetes. If I didn't have type 2 diabetes and needed to deal with this because the medication I was taking wasn't working for whatever reason, and a lot of that has to do with other medical issues, I'm sure, but I don't know that I would have ever tried this. Not for weight loss. I think I would have just, at the weight I was, I think I would have just tried to do what I'm doing now in just changing habits and learning different things, because what I've heard from people who have used this drug just for weight loss, you can do it really fast. You can get the highest dose, and I mean, I'm on the lowest dose right now. I haven't even gone one up yet. And you can get that highest dose, and you can lose weight really fast. The problem is, if this is something that you are not working towards a lifestyle change, you're going to lose, let's say, 30, 50 pounds in like 3 to 6 months or something like that. So you lose all the weight, but you did not make a habit of exercise. You did not make a habit of eating healthy. You did not make a habit of treating yourself better. So in that time, you use the shot, it does suppress your appetite. So you're not eating as much, but maybe you're still eating things that are still not good for you. So once you stop taking the shots, you gain all the weight back. And that has happened to many people that I have heard their stories personally. From going into the doctor's, one of the nurses there said she knows someone who did the shot, lost about 30 pounds or so in 3 months or so, and then got off of it, and she gained the weight back because there was no established habits being made. And so no matter what magic pill we use, if we don't establish the habits of actually living a better lifestyle and taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves through this and decluttering slowly, we're going to gain it all back. And it's going to be a lot harder the next time, because it's kind of like the idea of where we repent of sin. So we go before God and repent of the sin that we have been struggling with. We step away from it. We do really well for a short period of time, and then something happens. Something happens that triggers us to go right back into that. So, it's like the dog going back to its own vomit, as we read in scripture. Now, going back into that, it's almost like the sin, the evil, all of the things just holds on even tighter. It's almost like, okay, so before you, okay, we are fighting spiritual battles every day. So let's say there's this one thing you're doing, right? And this is something that you haven't dealt with, whatever. So you have these demons attached to you, right? So they're attached. We did this one play when I was probably 18 or so that kind of depicted this idea. So there's all these different types of sin that are attached themselves to you, and then we show them in the form of these like demonic things, right? So they hold on to you. So this is the same thing with our bad habits. They hold on to us and hold on to us and hold on to us. So we get out of it, right? So I did the whole food plant-based diet, eliminated all the stuff that I didn't really know if they were affecting me from my gallbladder, because that's why I did it, because it's gallbladder pain that I was having. Okay, but I felt better then because I didn't have any gluten. I wasn't having any dairy. The only thing that I wasn't getting enough was protein, because I hadn't really learned how to do that through just a plant-based diet exactly. I don't think the meat was affecting me all that much that I was eating, but I'm just not a huge fan of meat necessarily. But when I took all that out, I was feeling better. And I think that had to do with the idea that gluten and dairy are not good for my body. To have it in great amounts, even in small amounts, might not be great either. I don't know. Now with this Hashimoto's diagnosis, it might be different. Hold on. All right, I'm back. My husband came in because he needed to get some tools for a project that he's working on for his video. So once that video is up, I will probably show the community tab so you guys can see that. All right, so I was talking about, I think I talked about the whole eating for Hashimoto's and all that, like the things that I had taken out and were making me feel better. And then see, like, so I added some of that stuff back in. And basically the idea was I wanted to find out what was actually affecting my body. Now, at the time, all I was thinking about was gallbladder health, because that's what I was dealing with. I wasn't aware of like a lot of the different foods and things that would affect thyroid. And I've had hypothyroidism diagnosed for at least 9 or 10 years, I think, something like that. I do have a book called The Thyroid Solution. There is a crow outside the window. There has been some crows the past couple of days in the trees in the back of the cabin in the yard back there, squawking and jumping, like kind of swooping down on our dogs, because there's one, it looks like a baby crow. I don't know. It's a smaller one that can't fly for some reason. And it was across the road. I think I've shared this in another video. I don't know, but it's across the road. I thought it was one of our cats. Rami, the little one. He's actually already, I think will be 5 this year. I believe. Yeah, he'll be 5 this year. And he's a small cat, though. He's tiny. And so we thought that the crows had gotten him because the crows like to bug him. Well, anyway, it would turn out to be a baby crow that was hurt that can't fly or something. Well, it came into our yard, and last night it just walked across, and now they're on the other side. And it looks like it's on the other side in the other property next to us. I don't know, but they were really going crazy earlier. Now they've quieted down, but they're kind of just flying around over here, and I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So being that I wasn't aware and I hadn't read the book, I have had it for years since that book came out, or around the time that I got diagnosed. And then like some of my family members have it. I thought it'd be good to read. Well, I read parts of it, but I never really got into it. I don't even remember what was in there. I still have it. It's on my to be read list sometime in the near future. But just in some of the videos that I've watched and different things, I've seen people talk about gluten and dairy being a problem. So adding that back in, it's a little harder now to want to take it out. Like I was talking about earlier, the whole thing with the sin and how when we go back to things that we had given up, that we knew were bad for us, that we knew were wrong, when we fall back into that, it's harder to get out. It's like the enemy, Satan, knows that they've got out before. You know, they got away from it. They repented. They were doing good, but now we've got them again. And this time, to keep them, I really need to, hold them in this stuff. And so that's kind of how I view this whole situation. Like, I need to not do this just based on my own power and based on things that I'm learning from other people. Like, I need to take all of that and, lay it before God and give him that control and, surrender those things to him and do these things with the discernment and the wisdom and the guidance that he gives. So now the next thing that she shares is being, we talked about that being no magic pill and all that. However, I promise you this, if you make the effort, take your baby steps and stay focused on your goals, you will begin to lose your body clutter, and it will last for real this time. Taking baby steps means going forward, falling down, and jumping back in where you are. We know when we fall back on our old ways that we aren't doomed. All we have to do is go shine our sink. If I can find the Fly Lady book that I had before about where she talks about shining the sink, I will share some quotes from that. If I can even just find something online to share with you to kind of explain what she talks about, is when things are all out of control, basically in the house, it's cluttered. Every night, shine your sink. Get that habit. Shine your sink. Shine your sink. So, baby steps. Get the habit. Get back on to what you were doing, even if you fall. It's not. We're gonna fall. We're gonna fail. We're gonna stumble over things. We're going to eat bad things. We're gonna do all those things because sometimes whatever just happens. It's life. But we have to not look at it as being doomed, like she says, because then we're going to get into that mentality of, well, I can't do this. I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to go on and just continue eating bad and forget about all the things that I know are good for me. So one thing that she shares, we need to think in terms of our body's shining sink. For us, that is breakfast, giving our body its first fuel. Everyone has heard breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but sometimes we just don't feel much like eating first thing in the morning. Eating breakfast, however, is a critical baby step toward firing up the metabolism and getting the fat-burning machine working. So find something that you can have for breakfast that is good fuel for your body. And the next parts of this book, she shares some tips, and she has I think it's basically some more ideas on the mentalities that we have and learning how to shop with intention and eat with intention. And so I will share that in the next video because this one is probably about 30 minutes long already. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me, and I hope something from this has blessed you and got you motivated to shine your sink. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.